The all-new BMW.
Easy. If you want to have a championship game, come to the Superdome, because the intensity here has been terrific. The Oklahoma fans seeming to be almost as loud as LSU as we take a look at the ADT National Championship Trophy. Winner will walk off with this. You talked about playing here in a Super Bowl, and that atmosphere is right there again.
Well, you know what? You can't even have a conversation between us. We're sitting here and we're trying to talk to each other on the side watching the ball game. You can't understand each other, so you just don't even talk. So you can imagine on the field. I believe the intensity and the indoor atmosphere has affected both offenses. But because LSU can run the football, and OU's doing a terrible job of tackling Justin Vincent, it's making a difference.
Yeah, Justin Vincent's making a lot of those defensive award winners look pretty bad. But I was on the field talking with LSU offensive coordinator Jimbo Fisher. He said, you know what, their defense tries to bully you around. I'm going to run it right down their throats and smack them in the mouth. And they've run for almost 150 yards. LSU is dominating the defensive front the entire game.
Vincent, 10 carries for 118 yards. Now, you wonder about White. Do you think he's still feeling the problems with the hand when he got smashed against Kansas State?
I think he's confused. I think LSU's defense has showed him a lot of different things. And look at LSU's offense with Skylar Green around the corner. And then the block punt was critical. It's the only shot OU's had this whole game.
Yeah, the problem is the running game's only gotten 16 yards. Every passing play is a yardage situation. He can't go ahead. This Martin Mock.
I thought this opened up Oklahoma's defense. This was a scoring drive, a very smart misdirection play. And then look at him trying to tackle his shins. Terrible tackling. It's a great job of running by Justin Vincent. He's using his eyes. His shoes have eyeballs on them, and he's making them miss. He's a great runner.
Oklahoma looks like they're still in the funk from the Kansas State game. You're a coach. You go into the locker room. If you're Bob Stoops, how do you turn this around?
Well, I think you get right in their face and chew them out. What about your pride? This is the second week game in a row that the Oklahoma offense has not done a thing. You get in their mouth because it's going to take a big play to win.
Terry, as a player, though, I may disagree with that, because if you come out at me, it's already intense out here, and if you get in my face, I may even back up, get in the shell a little bit more. So I may want to go in there and just say, hey, fellas, relax. Let's go out and execute on offense.
Oklahoma's rush defense has been amongst the best in the country this year. But suddenly against this LSU team, take a look at the numbers. First 3 games under 4 yards a carry. Tonight against LSU, 7.5.
I haven't seen many championships games won when the team that couldn't run the football won it. And so, therefore, I think right now Oklahoma has to find a way. We knew they were struggling running the football coming in.
Yeah, and all the talk about Tommy Harris. Chad Lavallee looks like the best defensive lineman I've seen in college football for a long time.
There's been little question about that. As for LSU, again, you talked about running the ball right down their throats. That's exactly what they have tried to do. When we come back, we'll have a look and a talk with a guy who used to like to run the ball down everybody's throat. His name was Barry Switzer, the head coach of Oklahoma for 3 national championships. It's all coming up. 7 wins, 3 national championships. John Saunders, Terry Bowden, Craig James, now joined by Barry Switzer. And first, I just want to know what your take is, not just on the first half of this game, but going back to the Kansas State game as well.
Well, it's 2 good defensive football teams, and defense always makes offensive look ugly. Offensives look ugly when you play good defense like LSU's doing tonight.
And when you're Oklahoma's offense right now, there's a lot of pressure coming up front. How do you make the adjustment at halftime?
Well, first of all, the LSU is giving us great pressure, and the kicking game was in the second quarter, obviously something that gave them field position, and we didn't take advantage of it. Didn't take advantage of it. And they took that last 7 minutes, went down the field 80 yards and 9 or 10 plays, and I tell you, it looked like a very executing football team offensively then.
You know, you love to run the football. We've got 16 yards of rushing by Oklahoma tonight. I don't care how well you throw the ball. If you can't run it, too many long yardage situations.
No question about it. Great defense, running game wins a lot of football games. Everyone wants to throw the football down, Terry, and that's the vogue today. But still, the running game is something that wins football games for you.
Barry, wouldn't you say that one of the reasons Bob Stoops has been so successful is he respects the tradition of Oklahoma football? That means keeping people like you in the mix.
Well, he embraced us when we came back. He knows the rich tradition we have, and he welcomed me and the coaches and our ex-players back, part of it, and I really appreciate him doing that.
It's hard to believe that he has such a young football team. Both these teams out here tonight are so young, and the way the game's being played today, there is a chance they could create a little long run.
You bet. Both teams are very talented. SC's a young team. These 2 teams are very good, and we're going to see a lot more out of all three of them.
Coach Switzer, I've got to ask something. Craig and I were talking. They've had 2 bad games so far, a game and a half where they haven't played well. Do you go in there at halftime and heat them up, or you just calm them down?
Yeah, you got to get everything in order. There's no need to go in there and browbeat them. They're out there. They saw what you saw for 30 minutes of this first half, and they got to go get everything together. You don't have time to do that. You just get everything together, offense and defense, and make what changes you need to make. Come out and play in the second half, and hopefully things work out for you.
I'm glad you said that. I wouldn't want anybody ripping me in this game.
I know you'd love to shoot them out a little bit.
No, let's don't do that now, guys.
He's still relaxed. He's still relaxed with 30 minutes to go. 3 national championships and, of course, a Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys as well. Now, of course, it's loud in this place with the LSU and Oklahoma fans. It's probably louder down in the French Quarter. More people who did not get into this building. Right, Sam Ryan?
That's exactly right, John Saunders. But this is what Bourbon Street looked like at opening kickoff. A ghost town, pretty much. That's because everyone flocked to the nearest TV monitor to watch the game. Now that it's halftime, you can see it's starting to pick up again here on Bourbon Street. They are calling this mini Mardi Gras, and you can see exactly why. Even though this is referred to as the French Quarter, the most popular language is LSU. I spoke to local police. They told me they expect more than 100,000 down here on Bourbon Street by the time the game lets out. And once the people get out of there. And John Saunders, you can see there are cops on every corner, but yes, they are watching the game too.
Without question, Sam, and I wonder what's going to be safer, if LSU wins the game or if LSU loses the game. We'll find out. The French Quarter will be just as crazy. When we come back, we're going to have a special guest in Snoop Dogg, but let's first set up what you see in the second half of this game. And again, you're the coach, you want to yell at them. You're the player, you don't want to be yelled at. Let's come to a compromise.
Well, the thing that you've got to do is you've got to run the football. That's obviously you've got to run the football. But for Oklahoma, Coach Stoops has been a bailout. Big plays, blocking kicks, big plays in the offense. I think it's going to take big plays also.
Well, we have to have big plays. Oklahoma's going to have it because their defense is so good. You can't have a consistent drive against the defense the way they've been playing.
Yeah, and I think if you're Oklahoma, you got to come out and do a little misdirection. You've got to somehow get that LSU defense off your back. Oklahoma needs to give Jason White some confidence, and that misdirection, I think, is one way he can complete some passes, because right now Jason's just not the Heisman Trophy quarterback that and the awards that he won.
There's no question, and it looks like that hand is bothering him. As I mentioned moments ago, when we come back, the ultimate bling of video from one of my favorites, Snoop Dogg.
Yes, we won't. Chip game, LSU leading 14-7, and folks, have we got a story out of whack.
Yeah, if you're Oklahoma and you build a team around a Heisman Trophy quarterback, this is scary music and a scary stat right here.
I'll tell you what's interesting about this, folks. A few years ago when Bob Stoops won his national championship, he beat up on a Heisman Trophy winner, Chris Winkie, and now tonight the shoe's on the other foot. But, Gary, they got to do something to move the football here, Oklahoma.
They really do. As much as you want to try to establish the running game, I don't think they can do it. Oklahoma just does not run the ball. They've gone all these games with a shotgun pass offense. They're worried about protecting Jason White. I understand that, but that's all they got.
They get the ball to start the second half.
That's all they have. They have to throw the football.
I think if he turned a kickoff for a touchdown here to get something going. But the LSU defense is as good as advertised. And speaking of adjustments, Gary, let's take a look at our Home Depot coaching adjustments that you suggest right now.
Well, to maybe get an advantage in this football game, how about Oklahoma try a no huddle? Try to take LSU out of their comfort zone. And on defense, they got to start tackling. They've been missing tackles. LSU on offense, protect the football. They're moving it. Their defense is making plays. So don't give Oklahoma another short field. And defense, you got them. Just more of the same. You got the game plan. You got the athletes. More of the same.
Well, before we get the second half kickoff, let's check in with our fellows down below. Let's start with Jackaroo. Jack?
Well, Nick Saban let me into the locker room. It was a very NFL-type locker room. They hydrated. They get it very businesslike. And then Nick Saban addressed the team and said, look, forget about the scoreboard. I don't want to see any of you looking up. There's 30 minutes of football, and we've got this team where we want them to be. One thing Lynn Swanee did talk about is the center getting up quicker and snapping and getting his hands on the ball. Jack, I talked to Chuck Long, and I asked him about the passing game and how you get it back on track. He indicated he felt the receiver and the quarterback were just too tight, and they have to play looser. But more importantly, Bob Stoops was livid as he left the field, and he stopped the official wanting to talk to him about the calls on the field. I don't know if that would backfire against him, Brent.
All right, Len, we'll wait and see how that storyline unfolds. And another kickoff into the end zone. And so Jason White will bring the offense out. And in the first half, we had several key plays unfold. For the Sooners, it was this block punt, which led to their only scoring drive of the game. And it took 4 snaps to get that touchdown. Jones finally battling into the end zone. There has been nothing easy against this LSU defense. They have